Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to a Punched Out Thursday to Die For with Kathy, Krista, myself, and Dorothy. And we'll all be using our punches and dies or one or the other. And I'm going to scrap that picture of my grandson, my nephew, and my granddaughter. And I made those two gnomes practicing. And when I made the short one, I had one set of papers for the background planned. And when I made the next one, I had different papers planned. And so he's taller because I'm using creative license here and making taller gnomes. And that doily, it cuts out, well, you have to use both pieces to actually cut the whole doily out. But you can also use the frame part to make a background. And that's what I did. I cut the doily out like normal, and then I cut the background out instead of fussy cutting all the way around, which most of the time I do. This one I didn't have to. And I'm using it for the beards on the little gnomes. And like I said, I am making some of them taller because of the space that I've got to fill in. The paper I'm going to end up using, I am so proud of using it. I have had that thing so many years. I like it. I just couldn't figure out what to do on it. I thought about doing some sort of grid and couldn't think of what all to fill all those places in. And so I finally decided that I am going to use it today. And it's a thin white paper, so I did attach some cardstock to the back of it because, yeah, it's that thin. It was way back when. I know I've had it well over 10 years, maybe 15. I mean, I've had a long time, and I always liked it, and I look at it, and it would stay in my stash because I couldn't ever decide what to do with it. And I told myself this year I was going to use it. So I got it out, and I set it right by my table that I work at, and yeah. And I'm not saying a word about this punch art. I wanted this guy's beard to be longer, so I'm cutting two parts of the doily to hang down. And I did use the pennant for his hat. And then I used that scallop punch for the ruffle on it, the trim on the front. And I was cutting normal. And then I thought, well, what if I go a little crazy and not make it line up? And I like that. So I showed the piece of paper earlier where it showed part of it almost normal, because when I turned around and did the other side, it made it not even look normal. But yeah, I wanted his hat. And then, of course, all you have to do is put a nose on there. So I used a 3/4 inch nose circle for the nose. And I am cutting his body, and I wanted to make sure that he's taller than the other one. I wanted 3 heights. And so I'm going to pull the other one over in a minute just to kind of measure it before I glue it down, so I can make sure he is a little bit taller than that one. And yeah, he is. He's going to be a little bit taller. And that was just a scrap that I had. The other papers that I used are Echo Park Cozy, Warm and Cozy. That's it. And this is, it's from a paper pad called Grandma's Kitchen, I believe, from a long time ago. It had a lot of glitter in that paper pad, but then it had some pages that weren't. And this is one of the pages that wasn't in the scraps or with my Christmas stuff. And I have used it to be the third layout I use the scraps on. However, I do not know where that pad is. I don't think there's anything left that's not glitter anyway, so I'm all right with that. And this is the Warm and Cozy, and I'm going to make a songbook out of it. And so I'm going to just kind of fussy cut it by hand. Well, freehand it. And see how the other guys, it kind of arches. I'm going to do the same for this one, and I am just folded it over and made sure both sides are the same. And instead of inking in white, I decided to use this light blue because it's so light it's almost white, But yeah, it's pretty light. And I'm curling my book a little bit to give it some form on there so it's not going to lay flat. And I put those little arms there and I forgot I didn't have them glued down. So hopefully they'll stay glued down. I am going to go back and put something high. Well, it's glued down. The thing is glued down, so I don't guess I put anything by it. As long as they stayed that long, they ought to stay. But yeah, I forgot to glue his arms down. I was testing them, seeing how I wanted them, and forgot to glue them down. But I'm just going to do circles for his hands and cut part of it off. So it's not like a completely rounded circle. And it just looked like he's got a fist made or something and holding the book. And the feet, I just went ahead and done circles, and I am inking the whole thing, although I'm going to cut part of it off and have to ink a little bit on the bottom again. But I made his feet bigger than the other two guys since he is taller. And I used, I think, 1/2 inch on his feet, where I used 3/8 inch on the other ones. But I did use the same hands and nose. I tried the bigger nose and didn't like it. So yeah, I just went ahead and used the smaller nose of 3/8 inch. And now I'm just adding some white highlights here and there just to give it a little character. And yeah, I'm done with my punch art. I don't think I'll make anything else. I will use the die and cut out um, a couple of things. I will use a couple of dies, but the punches, I'm done with them. But be sure to check out the links below to see what the other gals have been doing with their punches or dies. And yeah, pull your punches and dies out and make something. See, there's that paper, and I am using it, even though I really wanted to use since I was using for the little gnomes, the Echo Park, I wanted to use it as the background. But I thought, well, they'll go all right with this. I'm going to go ahead and use this. So I did. And isn't it cute? It is cute. It's just that I kept thinking, what am I going to do with it? And I turned that square around, all the way around, 2 or 3 times before I decided to put it this way. But see, I had that big area there, and I thought, I need to fill it up. And I already made the one short a gnome. And I thought, I need it taller. But I made the one short gnome when I had the other paper laid out to use. And then when I decided to use this paper and had a bigger area, yeah, my gnomes got taller. So I'm using creative license here and just doing what I wanted to do on the page to fill in the area. And I used the Distress Ink Antique Linen. I made the stitches around my picture to match the rest of the layout. However, the stitches on there kind of look vintage, and they are not very white. So I had to use the antique linen on my stitches. And then I thought, man, their beards are white. So I had to use it on the beards then and make them a little antique looking too. One thing about it, when you're making gnomes, you don't have to make a face. All you have to have is a nose. Because, yeah, everything's covered with beards and stuff. By the time they get their hat on, you don't see no face. Um, well, some of them you do. But, you know, I'm using the ones that you don't have to. And I was having a hard time deciding where to put that candy cane. I fussy cut it out of the Echo Park and some other stuff there. The packages I'm going to use is like, I think Jennifer Rellis sent me this well, she sent me several Christmas things last year, and there was a border sheet, and this was on the border sheet. So I cut out the packages, and I'm going to use 2 of them on here. However, I'm going to cut one in half because I only needed enough to tuck behind the other one just to make it look taller. And I'm just going to put back there. And that's when my camera went off. However, I didn't do anything. As you could tell, there's nothing done. But yeah, it was off, and I started to take pictures and everything. Then I decided I needed this holly. So yeah, I messed with it and turned it back on, didn't know it. So I had to cut out the part with my camera. And yeah, so y'all didn't need to see that because I deleted those photos since I decided to add the holly in here. And I'm going to add it, see that gnome for the holidays? It's kind of lonely up there. So I'm going to add some holly up there, put some in their hats, and some down there by the picture in the corner. And I like that better. It's not quite as plain Jane. I was having a hard time with the plain Jane thing. So that's what I decided to add to it just to give it a little bit more. But yeah, be sure to check out the other gals and see what they have done. And if you leave a comment below, I'll get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But yeah, I hope y'all have a happy new year. And I know there's not going to be really any partying going on, but you can still greet the new year. Stay up till midnight and greet the new year in. And watch the ball fall in New York. They have been working on that apparently all week. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.